Good morning, class. I hope that you have a nice day to continue our discussion for today. First, to start our discussion, let's have our prayer. Who wants to lead our prayer? Okay, amen. Now take one fourth sheet of paper. We will have our daily spelling bee now. Okay, get ready. So I will say some word and you need to spell it correctly. Okay, it's only one to four. Okay, so number one is tough. Tough. So when we use it in a sentence, I had a tough day yesterday. Tough. Okay, number two is foggy. Foggy. Okay, number three, naughty. Naughty. And last is gorgeous. Okay, are you finished, class? Okay, very good. So exchange your paper now. So we will check it if your spelling is correct. Okay, so number one is tough. So let's see what is the correct spelling of tough. So tough. T O U G H. Tough. Okay, so who got a correct answer? Okay, very good. So number two is foggy. Foggy. F O G G Y. Foggy. Okay. And number three is naughty. Naughty. So N A U G H T Y. Naughty. And lastly is gorgeous. 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 So now who had all the correct answer? Okay, very good. Most of you are get the correct answer. So now to to start, who can now recall or remember our previous lesson last time? Very good. Our previous lesson last time is adjectives. So now, who can give the two classification of adjective? Very good. Descriptive and limited adjective is the two classification of adjective. So, okay, I guess that you already understand our last topic. So now I have some questions that only your classmates or only all of you um, who can answer this. So how many are you in this class? 30. Wow, that's so a lot. So I guess that you knew each other's. Um, who among you is the tallest? Wow, Rama is the tallest. Okay, so what about the most helpful? Jeffrey, wow, that's so nice. And what about comedian? Who is the comedian? Oh, Kenjiro. Okay, so I have here three kinds of fruit, and these are guava, orange, and apple. So who can describe orange? Yes, this is fruit. It is color orange, and also this one is big. So big. What about I put guava besides orange? So how will you describe these two fruits? Very good. So orange is bigger than guava. What about I also put this apple? So what do you think the description of these three fruits? Okay, very good. Orange is the biggest among the three fruits. So with that, we will write it on a board or on a chart. So number one is number one is orange is big. Okay, big. And number two is orange is bigger than guava. And number three is orange is the biggest among those fruits. Okay. So let's see the first sentence, which is the first sentence is just simply makes a sentence. So orange is big. So what is the adjective used in the sentence? Okay, big. Big is our adjective. So uh, so is orange compared to other fruits? Yes, very good. No. So, okay, let's see the next sentences. The next sentence, orange is bigger than guava. So, our adjective here is bigger. So, as orange is being compared with other fruits? Yes. So, orange is being compared with guava. So, orange is bigger than guava. What about the last sentences? Orange is the biggest among those fruits. So our our adjective is biggest. Okay, biggest. So orange is being compared with other fruits. Very good. Yes, orange is being compared with those fruits, the guava and the apple. So okay. So now we are tackling the or we are discussing about comparing. So that's what is our lesson for today. It is about comparing places or person or things to other places, person or thing. So okay, this is what we call the degree of comparison. So we also have a form or we also have a process or how to form degrees of comparison. We also have three rules in forming degree of comparison. So we have here how to form comparative and superlative degree of comparison. So we have three rules in forming comparative and superlative degree of comparison. So the first rule is to form the comparative and superlative degree of comparison of one syllable, just add ER and EST to the positive degree respectively. So we will just add ER or EST to form a comparative and superlative degree of comparison. Just for example, our positive our positive degree is hot. So hot is our positive degree. So to form comparative and superlative, so in comparative, we just add er. So from hot, it become hotter. Hotter. It is in a comparative form. So in a superlative form, we just add est. It becomes hottest. Okay. So another example. So we have here the positive degree, which is dark. Dark. So to form a comparative and superlative, we just add er to the positive degree dark. So it becomes darker. Darker. So when we want it to be in a superlative form, we just add est. Est. So it becomes darkest. Okay, so last example is clean. Clean. So if you want to form a comparative and superlative form in the word clean, we just add er. So it becomes cleaner. Cleaner. And if we want it to be in a superlative form, we just add est. So it becomes cleanest. Okay? So I hope that you understand the rule number one. So let's move on to rule number two. So in rule number two, to form the comparative and superlative degree of comparison of two syllables which are ending in y, we just change first the y into I, and before that and after that we we just add er and est. So for example, easy. So it's end in letter Y. So to form comparative and superlative degree of comparison, we just change the Y into I, so it becomes easier. So we also add ER in comparative degree of comparison. It becomes easier. So if we want it to be in superlative degree, so easiest, we change Y into I and add EST. So it will become in a superlative form. So it become easiest. Okay, so another example is busy. Busy. So it's also end in Y. That's why we change the Y into I and add ER to form a comparative degree of comparison. So it becomes busier. Busier. So if you want it to be in a superlative form, so just like the other example, we just change the Y into I and just add EST. EST. So it becomes busiest. So last example is clumsy. Clumsy. Also, it ends in Y. That's why we change Y into I and just add ER. So it becomes comparative form. So clumsier. It becomes clumsier. So if you want it to be in a superlative form, we just change the Y into I and just add EST. EST. So it becomes clumsier. So now we have the rule number one and rule number two, and last rule is number three. In rule number three, to form a comparative and superlative degree of comparison of three or more syllable with a positive degree, use more or most. Okay, so we use more in comparative while most in a superlative form of are the example. So in a positive form, we have here obedient, beautiful, and important. So if you want it to be in a comparative form, so obedient, just add more, so it will become more obedient, and then more beautiful and more important. And if you want it to be in a superlative form, it will become most obedient, most beautiful, most important. So we have here the obedient. So it has one, two, three. It has three syllables. That's why we use more and more. So I hope that you understand our lesson. So any questions about the rules on how to form comparative and superlative? Okay, I guess there's no more question. So I hope that you learn from our lesson, and for that we will have some activities to do to know if you really understand our topic for today. So let's have some activities to answer for you to for me to know if you really understand our lesson for today. Okay now, so okay now, let's answer this activity for me to know if you really understand our topic. So in number one, Aaron is tall, blank than Darwin. So what degree of comparison we will use? Okay, very good. Taller, taller than Darwin. So remember this word than. So than means you are comparing to something, or you are comparing to a person, a place, or a thing. Number two, Chris is rich than Judy. So what is the answer? Very good. Richer. Number three, my room is small. So what is the answer? Okay, small. Very good. So number four is Mario's bag is the expensive blank of them all. So what degree of comparison we will be use? Okay, it will become most expensive because expensive has three syllables. That's why we use most, because it also compare to all um bags. Okay, so last is the sea is calm. What degree of comparison we will be use? Very good. Positive degree. It will become also calm because there is no comparison happen. So I hope that you understand. So let us have another activities for you to understand better our topic. So this one is last activities. So let's answer this. Fill in the blanks with the correct degree of comparison. So the bag I bought is the cheap of them all. So what degree of comparison we will be used? So here the bag is being compared to all bags. So that's why we use very good cheapest. Cheapest because we just add est because it will become in a superlative form. So another one, it is fun to go to park than to the mall. So as you can see, we use than here. So we are comparing park in a mall. So what degree of comparison we will be use? Very good. It will become funnier. Number three is LJ is an obedient boy. So LJ is an obedient boy. So what degree of comparison we will be use? Okay, very good. We will use obedient also because there is no comparison happen. So next is my essay is long than AJ. So we use I. So our adjective here is long. And as you can see, we use done. So we are comparing the essay of mine to AJ. So what degree of comparison we will be used? Very good. It will become longer. So we just add er because the syllable of long is only one. So lastly is Robin is loyal friend than RJ. So here we also comparing Robin's loyalty than RJ. So it will become more loyal. So I hope that you understand our lesson for today. So we will have a quiz. So prepare a half of sheet of paper. So let's have our quiz. I will give you 5 minutes to do this quiz, and you will pass it after 5 minutes. Okay, so I hope that you really understand our topic for today. And for for your assignment, um, please search what is active and passive voice. So I hope that you really understand our topic for today, and you can now have your lunch. Goodbye, class.